Good morning, welcome back to the permission, and it is a fresh one. It's another first light 3-hour dig. We're back on the permission. We're back on the, I think as far as I know anyway, the only cultivated field that we've currently got. So I'm going to kind of have my 3-hour dig here. However, last time I was here, Pete, the other detectorist, was here the whole day, and it's not the biggest of fields, so he's probably been over it, well, quite a lot of it at the very least anyway. So I'm expecting it might be a quiet little while before I find anything, but so I've got an hour and a half. I'm going to give it an hour and a half on here, and if it's really quiet, I'm going to try kind of round the sides and on some pasture grassy bits just to see if we can find something there. So without further ado, thank you so much as always for joining me. It's notch to 11, it's a 3-hour hunt. Let's do it. Well, having said all that, just walked on, literally just walked onto the field and got a target immediately. If we can find it. Anywhere between 88 and 90, which is decent numbers. Not the best tone in the world, but we'll give it a go. Right, let's see what we got. First hole of the day. Right, we had a great start. Just realised I left my hand digger in the car. So we're going to be doing it the old-fashioned way today with the spade. Right, it's out, and the number was still about the same, so I thought we'd have a look together. Is it that? It is that. Our first target of the day, a resounding 88, is not sure what that is actually. Doesn't feel like a button, and it don't feel like, well, it's definitely not a coin. Okay, might be a little party fact, don't know. I'll give it a clean. If there's anything exciting there, I'll come back to you. Failing that, we're off and running. Well, my third hole of the day, second one was well, actually a little bit of bronze, but it was a nondescript tiny bit. Now the next one was a 60, and that's staring back at me. Don't know what it is, but it was interesting, so I thought, well, I might as well give it a film and see what we've got, what comes up. Okay. Maybe not as interesting as I thought it might be. Okay, cool. Right now, I'll give it a squirt. If there's anything there, I'll come back to you. No, don't think so. I've also realised not only have I left my hand digger in the car, I've left my towel as well. So, wet, dirty hands again today. Oh well, let's move on. Right, so it's been relatively quiet on the cultivated piece. So I just kind of wandered around onto the edge, just having a quick swing. And I got a 94, which I've now finally, without my hand digger, I finally got it out. It's about, it was a good 7 inches down, if you can see that. It's a long way down. It's out, so I thought we'd have a look together. Turn the pinpointer on, Marcus. There we go. Right. Aha. That looks coin shaped. I might have caught it. Yeah. Possibly gave it a little dink. And that's a coin, and that's penny sized. Oh, wicked. Right, let's give it a clean. Come back to you in a sec. Well, I think that's the first for me. I suppose it is a vintage coin now, isn't it? Yeah, I did just catch it, look, which is a shame. The perils of not having a hand digger with you. It's Elizabeth II, but it's a pre-decimal 1 penny, which I don't think I've ever found before. There you go, there's Britannia. Just about see 1 penny there. And I think that says, yeah, 1963. So that's very cool. No longer with us, bless her. But yeah, a 1 penny. Queen Elizabeth II. We're on the coins. See you in a bit. Right, next one. It's actually quite hard work. It's a lot harder than I'd like it to be, but we're getting there. Next one's about 3 inches down, I suppose. and it looks like a coin from here. It was an 84, so it was singing the right song. Let's have a look together. Ooh, don't know. Don't know. I think it might be. Right, let's give it a clean. Be back to you in a sec. Well, I think that's a farthing of nothingness, but definitely a coin. And I might just have caught the edge again. So yeah, it's pretty dangerous going without the digger. So I'm having to like really slam, and it's so hard as you get under the surface. I'm having to slam the shovel in quite hard to get through the crust and the stone. So yeah, I might go back on the cultivated stuff. But this you know, this is providing fine. So what a quandary. Either way, you'll see me on the next one. Right, next one, right by a cowpat, is a lovely 72, 73. And I don't normally film 72, 73s if I'm honest, but going back to my last dig with a lovely carve, and his gold half sovereign was a 72, 73, so why not, hey? When in Rome. Oh, yeah, as you can probably see, it's still pretty tough in places. You get the odd soft bit. Come on, baby. A lovely gold coin, I shan't complain. Chances, of course, are extremely slim. Whew. So, it's in the clod, I think. Right, let's have a look. You go away from a field, don't you, and you forget that actually 72, 73s on this particular part of this field is more often than not one of these little foreign aluminium rings. I think they're little bag rings or something like that. Nuts. Next one is a horsey brassy thing or something else. Lovely patina, oddly shaped and made, so it's pretty old I think, but again another one, unless it's got a pin on it you just don't know. So yeah, we'll have to put that in there, just a ringy thing, and move on. By the way, I'm back on the cultivated. I had 45 minutes on the pasture bit, but A, it was hard digging, and B, it was too risky for cacking the fines. It was still a bit too hard to dig. So yeah, back on the cultivated. See you in a bit. Well, I found a few buttons, and I don't normally bore you with those, but yeah, we found another one, but it's a 67, and you can probably just about see the crown, and there's a bit of the anchor, and then some initials running through the middle. So it's one of my classic naval buttons, and yeah, there's a theory about how buttons get in the ground. The most common one, the most accepted one, is that old uniforms and clothing and etc. was used as kind of ripped and shredded and shoved into the land to help with fertilizing and absorbing, you know, retaining water back in the day. So yeah, I probably subscribe to that more than others. Yeah, there we go. It's a button, it's naval. Let's move on. Up in the 70s, unusual piece of lead time. Kind of thought we were lucky enough. I thought I might have a dice then for a second, but it's not that. Yeah, cubic lead, and there's kind of indentations on each end, but I don't think there's a hole going all the way through. There might be. There might be some sort of weight or something like that. Cool, let's move on. Well, we've got a 94 sunbather, well, just under the surface there, so I'm going to try and just dig it out with me. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Still targets to be found. A bit out of shape, like a fancy D, but I think that's actually because it's been bent. But that's a buckle. Oh, we don't mind that. And nice easy digging as well. Excellent. Nice little buckle. Let's move on. Well, we're still getting targets. I'm going to have a coffee in a sec. And I love it when this happens. I got a 66. And as I took the second shovel out, I could see it on the end of it. You can see it there. So is that button or coin? 66 suggests button, to be honest, but there you go. No, that might be a coin. Ooh, that might be an interesting coin. Can you see that? Definitely something there, isn't there? Ooh, how exciting. Right, okay, let's give it a squirt. I'll be back in a second. Oh, well, that's very cool. You can see that. I think that's a 1. And there's definitely a pattern around the outside of the 1. And then when we flip it over, you've got obviously the pips in the inside of the circle with some writing around it. And I think I can see some animal, maybe a tail there, maybe a lion. If I was a betting man, I would say that is a Dutch Jewett. I found some other Dutch coins in and around here. But it might not be, it might be something else, but it's definitely foreign, I think. Oh, that's very cool. A very, very interesting coin, and we do not mind that at all. Excellent. In the pot you go then, and we'll crack on after a coffee. See you in a bit. Right, a nice coffee that was, but a very quick coffee. Very conscious as well that not too much scenery shots and B-roll today. A, it's a pretty overcast, pretty dull day. B, I haven't got a lot of time. And C, it's the same field, you know. There's only so much of the flora and fauna that you'll want to see. So not much B-roll today, but having said that, some interesting finds already, including that very cool coin, which we got just before my coffee break. And we've got now an 86, which is quite good, but it's got a little bit of a grunt on the edge of it, which is slightly worrying, but I thought we'd give it a go, because if there's nothing else, might as well do a live dig. Right, no sign as yet. Slightly missed it. Take a bit more out. Righto. Try that. I was right. Still an 86. Let's see what we got. Two live digs today. I'm not sure whether I'll put them both in, we'll see. That have revealed another whacking great musket ball. Again, don't mind that. That's all right. See you in a bit. And we're back on the grass again. I'm kind of on my way off now, so I've got about half an hour or so left. So I thought I'd just try the grass one more time. Straight onto a 77, straight onto a coin. But I think it's a blanker. So we'll pop that in the pot and check that one when we get back home. Cool, let's move on. Right, another interesting party fact time was a 71. And I've just got it out with the, it was in the clod, so I got it to with the pinpointer, and that's kind of fallen out. And that's as far as we've got, so I thought we'd have a look together. The reason I say it's interesting, of course, is this bit on the bottom. Is that going to come off? Yeah. Well, that's definitely broken off something. Oh, that's got a hole in it. Don't think there's anything on there. In fact, I'm sure there's not. Oh, there might be. Don't know. Any ideas? I'll give it a clean. If there's anything there, I'll come back to you. But if not, we'll have a look at that one back at the house. Let's move on. Right, could be the last one now. I've just gone over my 3 hours. So, I need to start making my way back. I've got an 86 on the way back to the corner again, sticking to the grass, and I've got an edge about there. So, let's have a look together. Is it a coin? Is it a button? 86 would suggest coin. Yeah, feels a bit crusty. Right. Okay, so last find of the day. Let's give it a clean and I'll be back in a sec. Nice and green, but proper crusty. So that one is going to be a blank one again, I think. But we've done all right. We've had a great day. We've had a very interesting foreign coin, I think. We've had Queen Elizabeth II penny, pre-decimal. We've had other blank coins and bits and bobs that might clean up with some detail. Some party facts, some lead bits, some musket balls. Yep, that will do for me. I'm more than happy with that. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by. And stick around to the roundup. And we'll see you then. Take care. Right then, welcome to the roundup. Bit choppy outside today, but all good. Right, let's have a look. What have we got? Right, it was a decent 3 hours actually, and this is pretty much everything. I don't think there was anything that went in the bin. We had the usual smattering of lead, and there was quite a bit of it this time. Yeah, and it was a funny one because I was kind of on and off the kind of cultivated bit, and then round the edges. There's plenty of targets still on that field, despite it being done quite heavily over the last, well, little while anyway. So yeah, can't complain about that. The usual smattering down in Cat Corner. We had a number of buttons. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. And then we had 2 studdy bits, and that was my first find. Turned out it was a stud. Then we had the interesting party facts piece. This thing here looks like kind of flowery petals. And then funny enough, I've just watched the video of the lovely John, who's the North Devon detectorist, and he's found something very similar, a bit more hole than that. And it was I think like a Victorian drawer handle or something like that. So it looks like it's part of a furniture fixing. This thing, I've got no idea. If you've got any ideas, please do let me know. It's definitely snapped off that end, but with a little hole and the little spiky bit. It feels like I should know what that is, but I don't. Another little interesting piece of nothingness. A bit of clay pipe. That I thought was an ampulla when I first took it out. It's not. Just a random bit of lead, but it's got some shape, so it's probably something. Another random lead lozenge. Don't think that's a hole through. I can't find a way through it. A couple of huge musket balls. A D-buckle that has been bent. A horsey brassy or maybe something else thing. And then 5 coins. Really, really crusty. Really, really blank. Really, really blank. I think when they're wet, you can just about see the remnants of a bust. I think they're both George III. So a halfpenny and a farthing, I suspect. Then we've got a lovely Queen Elizabeth II penny, 1963. And I don't mind that at all. That's all right, isn't it? To give it a bit of a cack with the shovel though, but don't tell anyone. And then last but by no means least, the find of the day is going to be hard to see. So I'm going to put a picture of it up on your screens now. And that is a lion facing left with obviously the pips around him and some writing. And on the other side is a 1 with some kind of laurel leaf type design around the outside. That, I was right in half a respect. It is Dutch, but it's not a Dutch Jewett. It's a Dutch 1 cent. So it's a little bit later, or a bit more modern than I was expecting. So the Dutch Jewett would have put it in the 1700s. Because it's a 1 cent, it's actually the 1800s. And when it's wet and under the microscope, kind of under the magnifying glass, and you might be able to see remnants of it, it's dating from the Victorian era, so kind of 1870 something, I think it is, or 1880 something. So that's very cool. Not found one of them before, but my hunch was correct, just not the Jewett, it is a cent. So yeah, a nice mystery, but now mystery solved. Dutch coin, few other coins, few buttons, some lead artifacts, some other party facts, and a pretty good 3 hours, if I do say so myself. Thanks as always. Don't forget the LP metal detecting discount code. You can get 10% off relevant products. And there's loads of you that have already jumped on that. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. I do get a small amount of commission for any purchase you make. So not only are you saving money, you're also putting some money into the channel. So love that. Thank you so much. And if it hasn't already, the merchandise store will be opening very soon. So you'll be able to buy some clothing, some other bits and bobs, and you can even put a clock on your wall with Notch to 11 on it if you really want to. So thanks as always. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.